It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. In this video, I'm going to go through and try to explain what I understand out of the news that came out recently regarding how Season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead is going to be structured. And them revealing that Season 6 of Fear is going to have split episodes. Now, this is in no way an actual explanation of what they mean because they didn't really dive into what they actually mean. So this is more or less my speculation about what I think they mean by split episodes. Now, to put a little bit of context into this before we dive into it, recently Scott Gimple, who is the chief content officer for the Walking Dead franchise, did an interview where he was talking about Season 6 of Fear, and he talked about how Season 6 will have split episodes, and we're going to see a lot of isolated episodes and episodes centered around just a few characters. Now, when that news first came out, I was very concerned because I had a feeling that they were talking about bottle episodes and they were going to make most of Season 6 of Fear bottle episodes, which I think would have been pretty much suicide for the show. Now, to explain what a bottle episode is pretty much a episode that is extremely slow in pacing and doesn't really push the story forward as much as a regular episode would. And these types of episodes are usually centered around a few characters, and it even takes place in a very isolated setting or area. Now, some examples of some bottle episodes in both Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead would be the episode where we touched base with Danny and saw him surviving after he split from the survivors. And even the episode in the recent season where Alicia found documents about the CRM and learned about them is more or less a bottle episode. Examples of this in the original Walking Dead show would be the episode where we have Daryl and Beth together, the episode where we touched base with Beth at the hospital, and even the episode where Tara and Heath were together before Heath disappeared. All of these are examples of bottle episodes. Now, if Season 6 episodes of Fear are going to be split episodes and not bottle episodes, then what does that really mean? Well, to me, a split episode just means that it's an episode that is isolated and it's a standalone episode that has a start, has a middle, and has an end. And it's not in a way where the episode ends on a note where it's connected to anything that's going to come after it. Like, we won't see any type of cliffhangers, we won't see any type of stories left open that are too big to not resolve in that same episode. So if they truly do that, if they truly make these episodes split episodes, then I think it could be super interesting and it could be a great way to kind of bring Fear the Walking Dead back and to make the show relevant and interesting again. And this could definitely work given where Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 is at, because we do know that the characters are split. At the end of Season 5, we had all of the characters basically separated. They split into different groups and they were taken to a different settlement or a community. So I think the concept of split episodes could definitely work in a season like Season 6 of Fear, where the characters are already separated and split. So what you could potentially do is, let's say, if we have Dwight and Sherry reuniting at a settlement, you could have one of the episodes just be about them. You could have them taking Dwight to the settlement, he reunites with Sherry, and, that's its own kind of story. And then you could have another episode that's related to Morgan. You could have them revealing what happens to him after his injury at the end of last episode, and you could see him find his way to one of the settlements or do something to get to one of the settlements and reunite with the group that's at that settlement. Let's say Victor Strand and Alicia. We do know that they are both together at a settlement based on the trailer for Season 6. So you could have Morgan showing up to that settlement, and that'll be the end of that Morgan-centric episode. And then the episode after, you could have the story take place at that settlement where Alicia, Morgan, and Victor Strand are staying at. And then you could have like a mini story with them. Now, this does in a way still connect because the first episode was Morgan. He basically comes into a settlement and that's the start of the next episode, but it's still kind of separate on its own because the Morgan stuff, it's just about him surviving that injury and basically finding his way back. So the story is pretty much isolated. It's a standalone story. Yes, he is transitioning into the episode after, so you could think of it as a cliffhanger if they don't put these two episodes back to back, but then at the same time, what I think would definitely work to their advantage is to place these episodes in such a way where it doesn't feel like a cliffhanger, but it's still more or less isolated episodes that feel like they're their own thing. And as we move along the season and kind of touch base with these different characters at these different settlements, having their own isolated and standalone stories, you could have the stories kind of intertwine and merge together, and by the end of the season you could have the characters actually reuniting or being in one spot and the episode centering around them all together. Now, will this concept of split episodes work or will it be a mistake? Only time will tell. I think if they are truly going to make these split episodes instead of bottle episodes, there is a very good chance that it could work. But then again, only time will tell, and we have to wait and see if they're going to be able to pull it off. Now, it's not really a rumor that they are doing split episodes. They did come out and say it. But it's just a matter of what they define a split episode to be. And I think if they are truly doing split episodes the way I described, it could definitely work. And it could possibly bring Fear back and make it relevant and interesting again. But with all of that said, I want to know everyone's thoughts and opinions about this. Do you think the concept of having split episodes the way I described would make season 6 of Fear interesting again? Bring Fear back, make it bounce back, or do you think that it's not going to work? And also, do you think when they're talking about split episodes, they are talking about the episodes being structured the way I described? Or do you think that they are talking about bottle episodes? And do you agree with me in saying that if they are talking about them being bottle episodes, then season 6 of Fear may be a very painful season to get through because it's going to be slow and it's going to feel like the story is not moving along as much as it should. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.